I would like to pay my respects to the spirits of the land here, where it's windy and cold and overcast. So, welcome to Wednesday, the 24th of September. Um, and today we have a big day. All right, so there are a lot of really potentially volatile aspects today, but there is also a potential for a lot of shifts in awareness. So, how's a very forceful day feel? All right, so yes. All right, so the moon is still in Libra right now. Good morning. It looks like it's working today. Yay. Hello, Alicia. How are you? All right. So lots of it's Mars Pluto. All right. So moon in Libra, moving into Scorpio at 7 p.m. All right. So here we are in that Scorpio part of the month. Good morning, Julie. How are you? Okay. So the moon is now currently moving to conjunct Mars at 10 p.m. Now, Mars is doing two big aspects today. Good morning, Susan. How are you? So Mars is both in conjunct Uranus, all right? So Mars now in Scorpio. Good morning, Louise. Is he's very forceful, strategic, driven, like he's in his element right now. So that Uranus in Gemini retrograde, he's like, all right, I'll give it to you. I can see your perspective. I understand that, that might be a better road to take. All right. So there's this reluctant adjustment. Now, he is also going to then square Pluto at 9 p.m. All right, so this is that big red shiny nuclear button aspect that I'm sort of putting out there. All right, I don't know if anybody's sort of looking at the world stage right now. There's a whole lot of tools in a country arguing with each other about, us plebs and what should be done about us. Anyway, and some people saying that climate change isn't even real. It's the greatest hoax ever. Anyway, all right. So here's that, adjustment must be made to the way that we're thinking. Good morning, Sally. It allowed you to come and join us. So yeah, that moon square Pluto is, there is a radical adjustment to your future directions. All right. So whether that is you adjusting your thinking because you might be reluctant, but you can see how, or you can feel how that makes sense. All right, and then that Mars Pluto at 9 p.m. Let's hope. Good morning, Sam. Let's hope that that the adjustment made might reduce the volatility of that 9 p.m. All right, remembering that the moon is conjunct Mars at 10 p.m. and it is square Pluto at 10 p.m. Obviously, because Mars and Pluto are doing that thing, the moon hits it and also comes into that aspect as well. So, by that 10 p.m., 9 p.m. mark, the moon's going to be in Scorpio. So there are going to be some deep feelings around. Okay, now in the lead up to that, while the moon is still in Libra, trying to find balance and negotiate and be diplomatic and be seen as, you know, as being seen as the peacekeeper, we do have an opposition to Chiron at 11 a.m. All right, so the moon in Libra opposing Chiron at 11 a.m. This could be us just seeing the wounds or the situations for what they are and then trying to make that adjustment, because everybody can feel that if this adjustment is not made, then the outcome could be that. It could be, moon conjunct Mars square Pluto, Mars square Pluto. It could be a very nuclear outburst, all right? Or it could be actually nuclear war, like who knows? All right. Now, between 10 and 3:30, this is where the moon is in conjunct Saturn. All right. So this is the discipline and responsibility required to work steadily towards a goal. Okay. Where everybody's trying to readjust their awareness. All right. So we've got that kite that I was talking to you the other day about. Between the sun is now involved in that kite. So we've got the sun at 0 degrees of Libra. We've got, or 1 degree of Libra, trine Uranus in Gemini at 1 degree, trine Pluto at 1 degree, and that sun is opposing that Saturn Neptune. All those things are pointing to, what are these foundational beliefs that we have that are causing us to question what we believe in, whilst also seeing that an adjustment in our thought process will help our future potential find more balance. All right, so they're all interconnected. It's all playing out this one story. Good morning, Linda. Good morning, Karen. There's a meeting at noon of the residents of the few I live. It was called you. Oh, there we go. All right. I think in the words, because I changed them from my book, it was about speaking your truth respectfully and honestly as well. Because, these people that are playing us plebs from this higher level, they need to be told. Like they need to be, like we're the people that put them there. So Karen, for your, for your situation, like you guys are running us, all right? Without us, you wouldn't be running anything. You wouldn't be making your pay packet if it wasn't for us. So how about you take our needs into consideration? Otherwise, there will be a revolution, all right? There'll be some sort of revolt, all right? Again, there's that potential for volatility if you don't approach carefully. There is negotiations in the air. This is weighing up all of this future potential. All right, so now not only do we have the moon doing that and Mars doing that, remembering actually that Mars is separate. All right, the sun and Pluto and Uranus and Saturn, and they're over here. They're in that corner of the room. All right, Mars is over on his own, having his own little existential crisis. And oh my gosh, is he not vibing everybody out? Everybody's like, oh, okay, there's some shit happening over in that corner. All right, so the sun reaches its trine to Uranus at 1 p.m. and the trine to Pluto at 4 p.m. So as you can see, this day is full of boom, 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 boom. So 11 opposition to Chiron. Between 10 and 3:30, we have that slow and steady working towards the end goal. 1 p.m. Sun trine Uranus. 4 p.m. Sun trine Pluto. 5 p.m. Mars in conjunct Uranus. 9 p.m. Mars square Pluto. 10 p.m. Moon conjunct Mars square Pluto. Good morning, Amy. There is a lot of stuff to be dealt with today, and because you are here and you've got the heads up, at least you will be able to read the room appropriately, okay? Remembering that we need to step back and make the adjustment. Oh, that's interesting. I went to say injustice. All right, so there's that Libra. Where's the injustice here? And how are you going to carefully and respectfully and authentically voice your opinion without triggering everybody else? So, in the title, all right, there's a whole lot of shift in the air today. And I did mean that double meaning of there's a whole lot of shit in the air as well. So, just be very, very cautious. Yeah, there we go. Well, that moon doesn't move into Scorpio until 7 p.m., Amy. So at least you will have the moon in Libra. Or actually, that's the moon in Scorpio at 7 p.m. here. So that's actually going to be about 4 p.m. your time. So if that meeting is this afternoon around 4 p.m., just really be aware that people are going to be in their deep feelings at that time as well. So, I think I've given you a pretty good heads up on the potential for today. But I just love that kite, that kite between Sun, Uranus, Pluto, Saturn, and Neptune. Like this really is the ability to rise above it all, to see what needs to happen, make that reluctant shift in your cognitive awareness so that that future potential can be channeled in a way that is transformational and not atomically explosive. Okay, so let's draw a card and see what the card says. I mean, there is, there is a lot of, like I said, I like that 10 till 3:30 where you can just steadily move towards reinforcing your belief structures so that you are stable and grounded and logical and you don't fly off the deep end because you're overwhelmed. You know that there is a lot going on and you just need to keep breathing. Ooh, ooh. And the wind is blowing that shift around. Absolutely, Louise. Okay. Ugh, I got the Nine of Swords. And I don't know if you can see that's the weird sisters up there, the three fates, and they are spewing forth their truth. All right, so I'm not quite sure who the dude is. Let me have a look. All right, but it does look like, there's that potential for violence, or, is it because he's reluctant to hear what they are saying, what the truth is, therefore he's falling on his own sword? Maybe not, but you know what I mean. Let's have a look. Nine of Swords. All right. Nine of Swords. All right. Heralds a period of great anxiety and foreboding about the future. It is important to examine where guilt about the past may lie behind such fears rather than being enslaved by them to one's future detriment. Good morning, Jen. So, yeah, I really do like that. So fear and anxiety, absolutely, impending doom. However, like I said, you are witnessing these things around you. So don't fall on your own sword to the detriment of your own future. Just listen to what those fates. I've never seen the fates in such a ugly manner. They look like very quite demon orientated, but they are just the past, the present, and the future speaking their wisdom. So, I'm sure that there's a lot of wisdom out there that a lot of people don't want to hear, but such is life. Such is life. What you do with your world is your prerogative. Actually, I was just talking to Annie, and um, the statement, there's that statement, what you think of me is none of my concern. Same thing. What you think I should be doing is none of my concern unless I can integrate it into a way that makes sense for me. All right, so a lot going on today, ladies and gents. Uh, Juan, if you're here, I keep seeing you pop up, so nice to see you. So yeah, go forth today and just be very careful where you tread. Speak your truth carefully, and I'm not asking you to hold back, but you can't poke the bear today. There is no poking of bears at all because that bear will swipe. So just remember that all day it's just domino after domino. So make sure that you're not just swiping the table because it's just gonna roll. It's just gonna roll. So yes. So I've got a full day ahead of me, and yeah, I'm going to take it just as easily as everyone. I'm not actually seeing any people until 5 p.m. this evening, so I think most of it is going to be out of the way for me. I just also will tread carefully. So, massive love to you, and just yeah, go gently forth. All right. So, bye.